Have you ever come home to find your electronics were fried during a storm? Today on Cut to the Chase, we'll be talking about whole house surge protection, real estate investing trends for young adults, and tapping your retirement plan to buy a home. I'm Jen Freed, this is Dan Ferullo. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Cut to the Chase with Jen and Dan. This is episode 14 today. Thank you for tuning in. How are you today, Jen?
I am excellent.
Awesome. So, we have 3 great articles for you today. First off, let's jump in and talk a little bit about some investing trends for young adults. So, many millennials have been priced out of their local housing market and have been jumping online searching for investment opportunities to buy elsewhere. So there are, and I think especially in the Seacoast, we can certainly relate to the cost of homes is astronomical.
Compared to other parts of the country, for sure.
Exactly. And there are lots of markets where the markets are rising up a little bit, home prices are a little bit cheaper, and people are able to buy, and young adults who want to get into the investing game, who want to build some wealth for themselves, which I think is probably one of the best things that they can do, are looking for other ways to do that. So there's a platform founded by Alan Lewis called Diversifund. It's a platform where users can invest in multifamily developments online. And
what I loved about this article is that it's a way of thinking outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying this is how people have always done things, I have to wait, I have to save more, I have to put my plans on hold, it says, is there a way? What if I look at a different area? What if I look at another method? So I love that it's a new approach to a problem that we've had forever.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of opportunity for, and there are multiple different websites or apps or something that you can use, but they kind of break down what the costs are going to be for you, what the risk is, and you're able to purchase this house. There's a guy in California, he lives in San Francisco, who can't afford to buy houses out there because it's super expensive. So he owns 6 investment properties in multiple cities, including Pittsburgh and Memphis. So all over the place. He says it's very video game like, because he's physically buying the buildings and managing them from afar. So it sounds like a pretty great idea. Something that might be interesting to look into a little bit. So if you have any dreams on becoming an investor and can't get in the market here, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and what you're doing to make your investment dreams a reality.
Yeah, I love it. Solving an old problem a new way.
Yeah, exactly. There's no reason geographical boundaries need to stop us from expanding our portfolios.
Yeah, and if you can target some markets that are up and coming, you can actually really do well for yourself.
Yeah, cool. All right, so jumping into number 2, here's how many people tapped a retirement plan to buy their house. So this is a CNBC article that says that nearly 10% of homeowners who were polled by Bankrate.com said that they withdrew from their retirement savings to cover their down payment and closing costs. So down payments for buying a house can be anywhere from 5 to 20% or more, depending on if you want to put down more. And then closing costs on top of that can be, an additional 3 to 4% of the mortgage as well. So you could be looking at between 20 to 50 to 100, 150,000 that you need to put down, and not having that money right on hand. There are some options that you can use in order to borrow from your 401k. So they allow you to. So some 401ks allow you to take a loan out, and
for a first-time home buyer, especially.
Mm-hmm. And allow you to take a loan out, and then you have to. There are certain specifications, and you obviously want to check with your financial advisor before doing anything like this. But it's just interesting to know that out of first-time home buyers, 10% or almost 10% took money out of their 401ks that they've been saving for, for their entire time that they've been working in order to make their home dreams a reality.
Yeah, you just want to watch what the rules are. Every plan is different. Definitely seek some tax advice. I think the traditional idea of put it in the 401k and then never touch it is great. But I think that sometimes things come along and folks forget that this is actually an asset that you have. And it may be that your plans are such that it is worth tapping into this asset, even with whatever tax implications that are there, particularly if you're going to get a break because it is for purchase of your first home. This would be a less attractive option for folks who are buying secondary homes or who have already bought a home, because you're going to take a bigger hit on the taxes most likely.
Yeah.
But there may be a really good reason for you to do this. It might not actually hurt your bottom line down the line because real estate actually is also part of your investment portfolio, in addition to being a place where you live.
Yeah, so a little bit about how it works in order to do this. So if you do decide to withdraw your down payment from your 401k, the distribution is subject to a 20% withholding for taxes, and you also face a 10% penalty tax if you're under 59.5. So there certainly are losing a little bit of the money that's in there if you're taking it out before you're supposed to. And then you're also limited to a maximum of 50% of your vested account or $50,000, whichever is less. And then there are usually some faster repayment terms and over traditional loans. Generally, looks like you have to pay that back within 5 years and make substantially level payments at least quarterly. So it's definitely something that could certainly benefit some people, but definitely something that people should not. I don't think they should go into it lightly. It should be kind of like a last resort, really, right?
Well, honestly, you have to look at your specific financial picture. There might be a really good reason to go after that asset and to get yourself in a home. Let's say you have a blended family now. You've never bought a home, but if the rental to be able to fit even with share bedrooms is $3,000 a month in the Seacoast area, and you can get into a home that you purchase that fits everyone, where your monthly payment is under half the price of the rental, it might be worth that trade-off to you.
Yep, absolutely.
It depends on your specific goals and on your financial situation, obviously on your age.
Yep.
And again, one would think if you buy a home and you maintain it, that you are going to make some money when you go to sell, and that you can roll into another home or take part of that and put it into a different kind of retirement account. So you can make up for it in other ways. So not a deal breaker, says 10% of the population.
Right, absolutely, that's true. So
I should say 10% of people that
10%
are buying
first-time buyers.
Buying for homes first time, not 10% of the population.
Yeah, what this survey said. So, survey said sounds like.
I know, survey says.
Okay, so we'll link this article up. Very interesting to read about. Different ways people are making their home dreams a reality. And then our final article for today: whole house electrical surge protection is coming.
This is fantastic. I feel like it's right along with the smart home trend, for when you forget your lights on, or, ways to avoid things that have always happened. We now have a solution because we have these smart devices.
Yep.
Literally we have a computer in our pocket everywhere we go. So we can now start controlling the universe.
Yeah. And I mean, it's homes, and as far as smart homes as well, are significantly more expensive and more technologically advanced than they were before, and if you have a storm surge and it fries your electronics, that really makes it expensive to replace all that stuff. Talking about
unless you insured it all.
Of course, but who does that?
Well, some folks do.
That's true.
Again, if you sat down and really planned everything out and figured out what you would want coverage for in
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Yep.
Insurance is not overrated.
No, you're right.
It may be dull to shop for, in my opinion, but should something happen. So tell me what a whole house surge protection system looks like.
Yeah, so I actually don't know what it looks like. So the National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years. That keeps pace with changing technology. Recently was updated to its 2020 edition, and in this 2020 edition, it is basically requiring all new homes and homes that are upgrading their electrical panels to put a whole house surge protection in. And then also this is something that each municipality is able to adopt it during their adoption cycle. So it may take a little bit longer for some places where people live for it to become standard practice wherever you are. So some ways that you can kind of see what's going, but some people are also saying that this can be a really good value add to your home, like a new roof or new systems. It's like, hey, all my stuff is protected if there's any.
Well, and it seems like it actually started from the fire reduction place. Because I think the study was sponsored and published by the National Fire Protection
you're right.
Association.
Yep, absolutely.
So I would actually think, in New England, where a lot of our homes, and oddly enough, that organization is in Quincy, Mass. I don't think that's accidental because we have so many older homes which have electrical systems. Literally, you could chart the history of electrical systems just by the homes in any New England town. Trying to look at when people start opening up walls to do the renovations, when they have to update electrical, what do they need to do? Now we're up to, most towns want you to have hardwired smoke detectors for safety.
Yep.
Now, this kind of, I know they're talking about new construction, but if we start getting into a code change that says, yes, if you can install the whole house surge system, imagine the number of house fires that might be prevented.
Absolutely.
With a change like that.
Yep, for sure. So you can check your state's adoption cycle to figure out when this could be coming, but it's certainly something that you can have done if you're updating your electrical panel on a voluntary basis prior to when they make it to be the
code for your town.
Code for your town. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. You can check with a local electrical contractor to get some pricing, stuff like that, and consult with your insurance agency too, because they may offer a price reduction if you
absolutely.
If you have this. So yeah, awesome information. Looking forward to seeing that coming in new houses, especially here in New England. It'll be cool. So yeah, that is all that we have for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'd love it if you would leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or like this page on YouTube, or leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what you think.
Absolutely. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks. Have a good one.